George Washington finds out about all this. Here we are, a new country, putting ships to sea, trading, fighting a war. We're trying to get respect in the world. We can't even make two flags that look alike. So he and a couple congressmen are going to get together. They're going to get the first official flag made right, because none of these are. Here's where the historians reach the fork in the road. Who made it? A lot of them want to give the honor to a congressman from New Jersey, Francis Hopkinson, because they still have the bill he turned in for the design of the Great Seal of the United States and one flag. But unfortunately, his flag didn't survive, or any drawings or descriptions. And besides, there's no record of him ever being paid. That leaves the other historians. They want to give the great honor to a professional flag maker in Philadelphia, Betsy Ross. She was paid, they've got her receipts, but none of her flags survived either, or any drawings or descriptions. So we can't prove for sure who made the first official flag. But the legend of Betsy Ross lives on. Now imagine George Washington and the two congressmen in her tiny living room talking about all these flags you've seen. They don't like the heraldry rule flags, the ones with white stripes on the outside, because on a bright sunshiny day at sea, the outside white stripes blend with the bright sky. It looks like there's only 11 stripes. The flags look smaller. So they decide to ignore the rules. We're going to put red stripes on the outside. Well then, according to the legend, Betsy Ross says, well, gentlemen, if you're going to change the stripes, can I do something with these stars? What's wrong with the stars, they said. Well, look at them. The ladies that are making flags are using 6, 7, 9, 12 points on them. They're crooked. They're all different shapes and sizes. They're hard to make. With your permission, I'd like to use a 5-pointed star, because I can cut a perfect one with one cut of the scissors. And of course that means she can make the flags faster, right? You know, anybody knows that when you work for the federal government, you've got to be efficient. I told this story to a group of retirees from the Pentagon, and they didn't even snicker at that one. Can you imagine how nervous Betsy Ross is with the father of our country in her living room? You know, if you went home tonight and found a strange guy in your living room, that always gets a snicker. In tight satin knickers, a wig and a cape, and buckles on his shoes, and a linen handkerchief, for crying out loud. Betsy Ross makes one cut, and I hope I did that right. Gee whiz, it's just like being with the circus again. Well, look at that. We ought to applaud for that, huh? So according to the legend of Betsy Ross, that's how we got that first official flag. But there's a couple things wrong. First of all, there's more than one version. This is called the Betsy Ross, the flag we'd all know and love, 13 stars in a circle. But the historians tell us that most of these early flags, those 13 stars were in straight staggered lines, just like they are today. But this is official and should be treated like one. The first